All right, everybody, we are getting ready to start Spider-Man 2000. So we are going to do what a spider can and throw it and swing over to that run. Good to go.
For me?
Yep.
I was like, that great cue, guys. All right, hey, hi everybody. My name is Wilifetti. I am a Spider-Man 2000 runner, obviously, and I hold a couple world records, especially in no comics for hardware. So I'm happy, or all comics for hardware. So I'm glad that I'm getting to run this. I'm joined today by another world record holder who's going to be my commentator. If you want to say hello, Spyron.
Hello, everyone. I'm Spyron. I'm also a Spider-Man 2000 speedrunner. Also hold world record. I technically hold the world record as of yesterday for this category on emulator. So we've got two experts in the making here for this category. We're very excited to be here.
Yeah, and did we get the results from our bid war?
We did. We are going to be running as the Scarlet Spider.
Hey, love that. Love that. I already had it queued up and ready. It's kind of my costume. But yeah, the basis of this is we're just collecting all comics as a collect-a-thon with basically almost all the skips in the game. Whenever y'all are ready, I am ready if you guys want to just go ahead and start this run. All right, I guess I will give a countdown. It's gonna be on go. So 3, 2, 1. Go.
Excellent. Right, yeah. So welcome to Spider-Man, everyone, PlayStation 1. You've probably played this a lot when you were younger, perhaps. You might not have seen it since then, but we in the Spider-Man 2000 running community think this is a very underrated speedrunning game for many reasons. One of them being what you can see right now that's happening is the unique movement that Spider-Man has where he can swing around, of course. He's Spider-Man. So with that, there's kind of a few tricks that we can use thanks to Spider-Man's unique web swinging abilities and web zipping abilities. One of them being, which you'll see quite often, the ability to swing cancel, where you can cancel a swing in the middle of doing it, and that essentially will help speed you up. It's much faster than doing a single swing. But straight away, on to level 2 here. This is where we find our first comic. So once again, the aim of this speedrun is to collect all comics. The first one being on top of the Fantastic Four building there. This game is actually really, really cool. It's littered with cameos and appearances from other superheroes outside of that kind of the Spider-Man realm of characters. So really, really, I think ahead of its time in that sense. So another cool game for that reason as well. But we are collecting comics and we're going to move up here now into, or onto, I should say, the top of the bank. Fetty's going to use a nice combo there to knock everyone off the building and then just take that one final guy out in 2 moves. That's another thing that you should keep an eye on as well. Spider-Man has web moves where he can form web domes, he can shoot web balls and all sorts of cool stuff. We're about to see our first skip of the game, which Fetty is going to handsomely demonstrate that he can just, fly through walls. Of course, Spider-Man does plenty of things. One of them is just break physics. That is fine. So the purpose of this is we're going to swing to this area because we've deloaded a lot of the level. We can kind of just swing where we want to, but not enough that it's going to break the level entirely. We have to save all the hostages, but there was a comic underneath that chair, so we're going to collect that on our way to the exit and to the elevator to the next floor.
Man, it's like you don't even need me.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, the goal of this is to just kind of, there's a bomb in this bank, in this skyscraper bank that these guys have put up, and we're trying to save all the hostages, but now we have an extra objective of also collecting some cheeky comics here and there. We like to say this in the Spider-Man community, that walls are kind of just an option. You don't really have to follow the laws of physics at all, unless you're web swinging. So we kind of just deload all of these. If you take a look here, whenever I get past this bank door is supposed to be closed, and you're supposed to be able to hit a button, but the bank door's open, and in an any percent run, we would just close the bank right there. But I have to go back, and since we didn't open up this door, there's a comic on the other side that I have to grab.
Nice, there we go. So round, back through, close that door. As for it, very, very nicely explained. And even though the door doesn't close, the door did close because we glitched it out by zipping through that door initially. And that's it. The day's saved. The game's over. Except it's not. Except it's not.
If this wasn't a day in the life of Spider-Man. So what's happening here is that cutscenes that we are skipping is Jonah seems to be cornered in his office by Scorpion, calls Peter Parker to call the police, but we all know he's calling him, so Spider-Man will come and save him. So this is kind of one of those levels that web swing canceling is very important in. Web swing canceling allows us to keep the momentum of the swing, but sacrifice a little bit of height. So how swinging works in this game is you probably saw on the second level that I entered something called targeting mode. Which
comic on your right, don't forget.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There we go. See, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here.
This is exactly why it's here. But yeah,
keep it track.
Thank you, actually. But yeah, so basically what we do is we kind of use that momentum, and there's always targeting mode on the screen, even if you can't see it, for where he's going to web swing. And so what we're doing is we're manipulating the RNG of where that web swing could go to keep us with momentum. So, and obviously collect the comics and make it to Scorpion in time to save him. So
now, speaking of Scorpion, here he is. This is our first boss fight of the game, but we're not going to fight him straight away because we have to collect the comic in this level. And to collect the comic on this level, you've got to destroy every piece of furniture in this first room, which we should be able to do fairly quickly. The only thing we've got to try and not do is hit Scorpion, because as soon as you hit Scorpion, he then targets Spider-Man as opposed to chasing J. Jonah Jameson around the room like he's doing now. So the less attention that Scorpion gives us, the better for the time being, as we just slowly go around and demolish the entire room. I'm sure J. Jonah Jameson will be very happy about this. I'm sure he won't bill us for this later. Eventually, we will get everything destroyed. It's always useful as well when Scorpion actually destroys some of the furniture for us, which he'll do if J. Jonah Jameson hides behind anything. You can see that he's attacking him. There's no furniture there to attack. I don't know where he thinks Jameson is. And there we go. As if by magic, a comic appears. And so now the next trick that we've got to try and do is defeat Scorpion before J. Jonah Jameson runs into the second room in what we call a one-cycle Scorpion, which I think he might just get here. Oh, no, jinxed it.
Thank you for the commentator curse.
Yes, I apologize. Yeah, so you can manage to fight him and beat him before he does this cutscene into the second room. Obviously, much faster if you can do it before he runs into the second room, because you can't skip that cutscene. You've got to watch him go in. That was a, great punch just in the air from Scorpion. He's been watching the wrestling over the weekend, clearly. And there we go, Scorpion down.
I don't know what you're trying to pull by saving.
And of course, Jonah frames us for the entire event, which is great.
Absolutely. And
which leads
as a
into
result,
this.
Yeah, this is a bit insane. Like, out of context, these next couple levels are a bit insane. So this is the police chase where Spider-Man, as a result, is now escaping. I guess the story, we could probably explain some of the story of the game as well, because that'll help give context. So the story of this game is that a reformed Dr. Otto Octavius has invented this machine. I don't really know what it does. I don't know if it really explains what it does, but he's got some sort of machine. He's at a science expo, and suddenly Spider-Man comes on stage, beats up everyone, and steals this machine. But it's not really Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, is currently in the crowd watching this all unfold. And so everyone thinks Spider-Man has robbed this machine from Dr. Octavius, and it's chaos, essentially. And that's why the police are chasing him, as also because of all the nonsense with Scorpion as well that we've seen earlier. So that's the kind of context. Why they decide that means they need to nuke the entire city with missiles, I don't know. That is a good question, and one I don't have the answer to. But we've seen Fetty collect another comic there just in the previous level. There's no comic on this level, but we have got some cheeky zips. Now, this is a cool level to do because you might casually think, oh, I remember this level. You had to climb up and dodge all the missiles. Well, actually, it turns out once you reach a certain height, you can actually just fall off the wall. And if you zip using the R1 button, you actually zip upwards to a roof. And because you're at the right height, Spider-Man can just skip a lot of the section of climbing there and zip straight to the little platform that's kind of poking out. So a lot of time saved there.
I will say, if you want to read donations, this part of the level is a really good place to just kind of read donations. It's just a whole bunch of swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually gonna ask about that. Real fast, we did close to Spider-Man. Did open up another poll, another bid war. And that is kind of an important one. Are you a dog person or are you a cat person? We're going to find out in Stardew Valley later on. And speaking on Stardew Valley, we still do have that target to actually do the glitched perfection run. That one is open since we've met the Cat Quest demo %. So I'm looking forward to Stardew Valley. And honestly, I hope that chat, you can help us decide, are we going to be a cat or a dog person? I am ready for that. So I want to ask the question real fast. Cat or dog?
Hey, don't forget the comic at the bottom.
I'm not, trust me.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Golden.
So I was asking, are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm both. I really like dogs, but I just got a cat, which we named after a member of our community. His name's Monch. He was a stray. But I will say real quick, this is a very well, if I can't hit it, never mind. I was gonna say something crazy, but never mind. But yeah, I'm more of a cat person, like just for, you know, the fact that I just got a cat myself. But I do like dogs as well, so either one's fine with me.
There you go. Spyron, what about you?
Oh, it has to be cats all the way.
Okay.
I've had a cat for a couple of years. The lovely Ginger Garfield. He's sitting behind me, actually, asleep as we speak. So if I said dogs, he'd probably come up and attack me. So I have to be team cats.
Same here. I am actually genuinely surprised that Cat has decided not to come and be a host as well. Generally, whenever I'm on doing anything, the cat.
Turn around, Faye. The comic. You've left it.
Dude, I'm so in our group. Okay, I'll get back. Listen. I'll get into my comics group here in a second. So don't worry. This won't happen again. I promise.
It's okay. We got you.
Wait, I missed a comic.
Uh-oh.
Did I? Wait.
No, that was the only comic on this level. You might have missed the Goblin comic.
I missed the Goblin comic. Yeah, I can come back. I can come back to that. You're right.
Yeah, we got that.
You're right.
Okay,
It'll be a little
sorry.
extra time. My bad. I got in a groove real quick.
That happens to all of the best of us. I can appreciate it.
Yeah, this is Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah. So just I guess to explain to everyone watching. Yeah. So this regular. The most common run you'll probably see for this game is the any % run, which obviously doesn't involve us collecting any comics because that's much slower. So a lot of the tricks you'll see used in this run sometimes will apply to the any % run as well because it's a skip. But a lot of the skips we don't actually take because it takes us away from the comic. We're on another boss fight though. I'm very excited. It's Rhino, another classic Spider-Man villain. The objective of this one to collect the comic on this level is very similar actually to the Scorpion fight, where you'll notice that these exploding barrels, why they explode I don't really know, but these exploding barrels littered around the outside of the little kind of encampment that we're in here. And in order to get the comic to appear, we've got to destroy all of them. And in the meantime, we're just going to try and avoid Rhino. He's kind of plodding his way over to us. We can kind of get him to charge into these little electrical things in the middle here, which will delay him a little bit. He'll just have a bit of a rough time in the electrical current there, but it's all good. And this should be the last one. And there it is. Comic spawned in the middle. And then we've just got to take out Rhino. So there's a trick that we can do here where if we get kind of... There we go, nice and... That was really good, actually. So doing these web domes inside of Rhino's kind of hitbox here actually deals the most amount of damage out of everything you can do to attack Rhino. So the cleaner you can do that in a run, the better, and he executed that perfectly there. That was really, really good.
Thank you. I'm gonna stop forgetting comics, dude.
Yeah. So the next, probably most infamous part of this game, apart from it being Spider-Man, is that Venom is here. Now, Venom, probably, if not the best character, maybe second best if you prefer Spider-Man, but Venom, probably one of the best characters in this game. Absolutely incredible. The voice actor, funnily enough, if you aren't aware, is the same person who does Cosmo from The Fairly Odd Parents. Which is really, really interesting. But that is Venom. You won't hear too many voice lines from him because we're obviously going to skip a lot of the cutscenes. But from the voice lines you do hear, please pay attention because it's great. So the objective here is we've got a race. We're supposed to be chasing Venom. This level is called Chase Venom. But actually, if we go fast enough, Venom kind of looks like he's chasing us. But there are 2 comics to collect on this level. The first one you saw as Fetty entered this kind of construction site girdery thing that we just entered. We'll be collecting the comic there. There's another comic then just as we leave here on one of the buildings just to your right as we exit here. But got a bit of a cutscene. If there are any more donations or anything else to read, this is a good little time to do so.
Absolutely. I did get some new information. I want to share this because this to me is I cannot fathom this. So apparently, the bonus glitched perfection run for Stardew Valley, which the incentive is open right now, apparently, when done glitchlessly, the perfection speedrun takes over 24 hours.
Oh.
I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure that we're all speedrunners, so we don't want to hang out for 24 hours. So, with glitches, that could be done in 3 minutes. I cannot fathom something taking 24 hours and glitching it and being done in 3 minutes. That is...
If you want to fight,
it's unfathomable to me.
That's crazy. It'd be like us finding a credits warp in this game. That's crazy.
I'd love that though, actually. That would be cool.
I have a special appreciation for glitched runs, especially things like RPGs and things like that, where it's like, it's an 8-hour run. In a glitch, it's a minute and a half. So I can appreciate that. I'll throw it back to you because it looks like you are fighting Venom, who is honestly probably one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
True, and with this fight, usually it takes 3 cycles, but I did have to throw the car. So you're going to see us use this combo a lot with web gloves. It's kick, kick, punch. It does the most damage in the game to every enemy. So we're going to be using that on every single boss to try to finish them as quick as possible.
Absolutely. And yeah, the next kind of section now, we are in the sewers. So I guess the purpose again to explain the story of what's going on in this game is Venom has kidnapped Mary Jane because in this game, at this point in time, Venom knows who Spider-Man is. And so he's kidnapped Mary Jane thinking that he's being the good guy and helping by luring Spider-Man into a fight to try and capture him and save the day himself. But actually, obviously, as we know, Spider-Man was framed. And so this is just making everything much worse. And so we've got to go and chase Venom through the sewers to find Mary Jane and save her. And at the same time, we've got to dodge all these lizardy little people as they also inhabit these sewers. So you can see we got collected the comic by. We had to run all the way to the end of the little path there, turn around, go all the way back, and that's when the comic spawns. We're then going to do some nice swings across these pipes, and a nice little underswing there to finish it out. There'll be some lizards that we need to fight at the end of here, and then on to the next level. But yeah, the next couple of levels are pretty chill before we get to what we kind of call the gauntlet, which is anything after the subway level, which is just about to come up. In an any percent run, everything after the sewers, after the subway, goes hard. There's literally a skip that you need to realistically hit if you want to get a good time on every single level coming up after that. Luckily, because we're doing all comics, we won't have to use most of them, just because it, again, takes us away from the roots of the comics. The comic on this level is tucked away hidden, which you wouldn't normally go to at all, even potentially in a casual playthrough. You might not even know this place exists. But just up to the left here, as Fetty swings across these pipes, just up to the left is a little kind of hidden cavern hidden behind the waterfall, because as we all know in video games, you should absolutely search behind the waterfall. Always something there, and it's true in this game as well. So behind the waterfall, there is a comic and a few other extra bits. We're going to pick those up, swing all the way to the end, and we're going to go to the subway. Now, the subway is very, very nice as a level. It's basically a 2-minute auto-scroller, which is fantastic, and we have discovered a way to manipulate Spider-Man that he can glitch essentially inside of a lizard, which normally on this level you'd have to fight lizards off until the train reached the end of the track. But we can actually sit inside of a lizard and just sit there for the entire train ride, which Fetty will, I'm sure, demonstrate now. So he's going to set in this right position. He's going to jump until the lizard kind of walks inside, and that's it. And we're here for 2 minutes. So if there's any other donations or anything else that needs to be read, now is a great time for that.
Right before donations, though, I will say the end of this run is going to be a little bit different because I will finish the last little section of this game, and then I need to go to level select and grab the last comic and beat that level, and then we can call time.
I'm already at full health.
Sounds
Just
good.
to put that out there.
Okay. Real fast. Want to go over some things. First of all, want to say thank you to our German restream partners who are able to provide this restream in German. So big shout out to them for getting that taken care of. We stand having our speedrunning events and anything really in multiple languages for that accessibility. So thank you, German restream team. Want to thank them. Also, it was brought to my attention that we are only $7 away from $500, the halfway point. So, someone can make that happen.
I'm already at full health.
We'll see. And I'm looking forward to that. $500 in the time that we have spent doing this event is exciting. I'm here for it. Getting some more information about some of the target incentives. The glitch run only needs $25. So if you are going to make a donation using !donate. Ooh, someone beat me to it. Appreciate you there. You make sure to select a poll and a target. Don't let the money go to waste. You can choose both, and it works for both. So make sure to do that. Are we looking good on time for this auto scroller? How long?
We certainly are. Yeah, we're coming up to the end now. There's a little trick that you can do actually to finish this level off a bit quicker than you're supposed to. We call it Super Train. So what you can do at a certain point during the end of this train now, if you start attacking the lizards, eventually they will just despawn and the train will actually end before it hits the end. So that normally extends a little bit further on after the train hits the end of the track, but that was like a frame perfect, hits the end of the track and the level's over. So a nice little time save there on a level that doesn't have basically any time save at all. So we like to save time where we can. And now we're in the sewers even deeper. So there is a comic just on the left here that we'll go and collect first before we carry on with the rest of this level. There it is. And so again, we've kind of talked about before that walls are kind of just optional. Doors are just kind of optional for Spider-Man. He is just made of paper or something. I'm not really sure what spiders are made of. But the same goes for here. So there's a little gap in this wall for the gate here. And we're just going to kind of zip through as we've got a very awkward... Now, this can happen. This doesn't happen very often, where the camera kind of gets a bit scuffed. And so Vetty can't really see where he is right now. But he should. There we go. You can see he zipped through the gate. There's some water that's going to drain. You can hear it draining there. And Fetty's going to get to the end of this level. We'll kind of just, I guess, watch the gate as this is happening. Normally, you'd watch Spider-Man run to the end of the level, but there we go. He's hit there, and we're safe.
I mean, so this level normally in any percent is, so there is a comic on this level, but this level normally in any percent is probably the shortest level of all time. We've found probably about like maybe 6 skips that can skip this entire level, and to where you don't have to, you don't have to do anything. But for us, we need to do it the no skips way and hit this button. And for any cheeky-eyed viewers, if you go back to that button, you can collect the comic, and then we can get out of here and on to the run killer.
Yeah, so this is where men are made, or girls are made, or however you want to use that expression, because this is where things get a bit tough, and this is where runs truly do come to die. Now, this is tunnel crawl, and in an ideal world, you're going to want to get all the way to the end of this tunnel before the water raises up again. Now, casually, this is normally done in 2 cycles. There's a bit of a dip you can see where it goes up again, and normally you'd sit in there, wait for the water to raise again and then lower before crawling to the end. But if we're fast enough, using these kind of roof zips that you can see Fetty is performing here, we can actually beat the water to the end. So there goes another roof zip. And now that is incredibly, incredibly difficult. It should not be understated how difficult those roof zips can be. You're essentially praying that you press the swing button at just the right moment as you drop from the roof to be able to zip. And if you don't, you have to immediately have your thumb or finger ready on the R1 button to be able to zip up to save yourself before falling in the water. Because if you fall in the water, literally if you touch the water by a pixel, you're dead. It'll just kill you, and that's the end. You've got to start again. So it's very fun. But Fetty executing that excellently. We'll collect the comic that's just at the back here, which is going to appear just after you hit that button. There it is. And we'll swing to the end of the level. Now, next level coming up, Venom's going to throw a puzzle in front of us. He's going to challenge our brains to hit 2 switches to open these doors that he's going to lock behind us. Now,
Where are you?
doors, again, optional. Did you know also, though, floors, they're also optional. Do love an optional floor. So this little trick we call the Fetty fall because it was discovered by my man Fetty here in Spider-Man 2, actually, not in this game, where you can actually just fall through the floor in certain areas where there's like a grate followed by an actual bit of floor. Optional. Who gives a damn? We don't like floors. We'll just skip through them. Don't matter. So we just fall through the floor there, skip all the way under the doors excellently without zipping up too early. And we'll just get to the end there because there's no comics there to collect. Now this one, we get a little cool cameo actually by collecting the comic in this level. So again, utilizing these roof zips that we're using in Tunnel Crawl to try and get across here as fast as we possibly can. Normally you'd go to the left here at this point, but we're going to go right and head all the way down this corridor to meet a lovely friend. Now we're in the sewers. We've seen little lizard people, but we haven't actually met the lizard TM. Here he is. We say lizard, and then we run away. Normally he has a big conversation with us about how to actually get out of this maze, this lizard maze, as it is called. The level is called Lizard Maze. But we just say, okay, cheers, thanks, and he just drops a comic, and we're out of here. So we're going to, again, run all the way back. We're not going to complete the lizard maze as you would expect. We are actually going to say, again, optional walls. We're going to get Spider-Man in position here to kind of be halfway inside of this wall, or fully on the other side of the wall, which you just saw there. We're going to swing to the next bit of the tunnel just there, and that skips a large portion of crawling through the maze and just sets us right to the end of the level.
Oh, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, you did very well there. That was really cool. That was really good.
Hey, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I did want to say we met the halfway mark. Thank you so much,
Hell
Kate,
yeah.
for your donation. Officially a cat person so far. So thank you so much. We have met the $500 halfway point. Let's get it going. Cats versus dogs. Let's go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now, if you hate Venoms, or I don't know if you do, this is a good level because you were going to beat him up. And so the, again, kick punch combo coming out here with the web gloves on. Now Venom can spawn randomly in one of 4 places. We're trying to manipulate him by standing in the position that Fetty's standing in to spawn either in front or behind him. We actually got 3 really good spawns there. We wanted to do that in 3 cycles, which we did. So that's excellent. We don't want him to spawn ideally on the rafters on the left or right of us because it takes longer to get there and it's a bit more awkward to reach him for the attack. But we've defeated Venom. Venom is now clued into the situation, and we're heading back to the Daily Bugle. I'm going to go deep into the Daily Bugle. Why everything is going on under the Daily Bugle, I'm not really sure. Again, this game just kind of takes you to place, and it's like, yeah, we're just going to go here, and things are happening, so that's fine. There's a comic in this vent, which we're going to take, and Fetty actually is going to now restart the level, because there's a nice little skip that you can do, which involves us swinging underneath the level to deload a lot of the level, similar to how it was done in Hostage Situation, where you deload a lot of the level. And if done right, we should actually just be able to jump right to the end trigger, which there you go. So swing underneath the level, you can see everything's kind of despawned, and the end level trigger is just there. Very nice, very nice. Now, another neat trick we're going to show here on the elevator. So normally you'd have to ride this elevator all the way down and press some buttons to kind of keep the elevator going. But again, walls optional. So we're just going to skip through that wall skip all the way to the bottom of the elevator. The comic is just inside this elevator shaft just here. Going to go through there and then out here, and that's the end of that. Nice and quick.
All right, I'll go ahead and explain this part. Stopping the presses only has a one minuscule skip at the end where like a garage will close and I can just glitch through the wall and get to the end trigger. We basically we just hit these symbiote generators that are spawning symbiotes for some reason, and I pick up a comic. So if you want to read any donations quickly, like this is also a good time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I did want to remind everybody we're actually for the charity Little Warriors. It's a national charitable organization focused on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. We also advocate on behalf of and with child sexual abuse survivors. So for more information, be sure to visit littlewarriors.ca.
Basement of the Daily
Exciting to work with such a great charity of such a good reputation. So I am excited for that.
Right, and so we come into the basement, which we'll need to zip up before Fetty goes over here. He will need to actually turn around and go zip up some web bits that are kind of poking out, some fumes that are poking out. Fetty will need to go and hit the fumes and web up all the pipes to be able to spawn the comic in. And then at that point, we can kind of skip to the end. So I'm hoping Fetty is going to turn around in a second to go back and get the comic.
Hey, don't
There he
yell
goes.
at me, all right?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't yell at me, all right? I was trying. All right.
Okay.
but yeah.
So here we go. So yes, we got to web up these pipes to save the bugle basement from exploding. I don't really know why this doesn't. This stops allows the comic to spawn, but it does. And there should be one more that's kind of spewing out here. I'm not sure why that's disappeared, so I guess we'll just restart. That's fine.
Probably because I went too far.
So there's three bits of kind of steam that are poking out of the pipes. We just need to web them up, and the comic will miraculously appear again, as it has done in some other levels. So here we go. So you can see. There we go. So that's the one we were missing before. So the one on the floor, one at the top right, and one at the top left. And the comic should spawn just in front of him then. There it is. And we get some fire web as well. Fire web not used too much. We don't tend to collect it, but it does one-shot the symbiotes. So that is always a good time when they're in your way, because they can be ridiculously annoying if they start spitting at you when you're trying to do these like wall tricks, which Fetty is going to try and do here to deload again the level to be able to skip to the end without having to do a lot of the extra kind of work that's required to complete this level. There we go. He's going to go underneath, and I think that has just about done it. It has. So you can see now all the levels kind of despawn. We're going to swing all the way over here, and then we have to be a bit careful here to jump around the way. There he is towards the end of the level. Now, you might be wondering, well, we were talking about people being framed earlier. Spider-Man's been framed. What's the deal with that? Well, it turns out it's Mysterio the whole time. Spoiler, it's Mysterio. And here he is now, giant Mysterio, and we've got to fight him. Now, the comic on this particular level appears in his second phase. So once we defeat Mysterio first phase by knocking off these kind of glowing conduits that are on his body, the comic should spawn on the bottom floor where Fetty is now, here. So we're gonna, this kind of force field is gonna raise us up. We're gonna fall down, and the comic you can just see on your left, on the right now there, which we're hopefully gonna be able to collect before it disappears. We are. That can be an awkward one to get to because it will disappear if you're not quick enough. And so now to finish off Mysterio, we're gonna, again, the conduits kind of have reappeared on his body magically. And so we just need to get rid of them and then hit him in the fish dome, which you'll see just in a second.
I was not far enough. I knew I wasn't far enough.
Yeah, ideally, there's a little trick you can do where if you stood far enough towards the edge, but not quite falling off the edge of this top platform, Mysterio can't actually reach you to be able to grab you and throw you all the way down to the bottom. Which unfortunately we didn't quite get there, but we have nailed Mysterio. Mysterio is down, and he tells us, well, I'm not in charge. Actually, the people in charge who have hired me in this warehouse. And he does have that comic that is very important to state. He does have that comic in real life. It's right behind him there. Crazy.
All right,
So-
if you want to explain warehouse, and then we can probably get to reading donations if there are any.
Yeah, absolutely. So the purpose of this level is we've got to, again, destroy the generators to get to the end. There are 2 comics on this level, though, that we've got to collect, which one is in the next room, just coming up, once we destroy this other generator in this little corridor here. It's just kind of hidden away in some boxes. And the next comic, just before we drop to the end of the level here to go to the next one, there's a door, actually, that you can web, which will knock it over, and it will take you to a little secret area where there is a comic there as well. But while Fetty is doing all that, yes, if there are any donations or anything else to read, now is a great time to do so again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just doing a little bit of housekeeping. Real, wanted to ask, is there any, we're catching up on some time. Had a little bit of tech issue. We're wanting to catch up. So, is there any shoutouts that you want to go ahead and get taken care of while we're rapidly approaching the end here?
I mean, honestly, shout out to the Spider-Man Discord, the Spider-Man 2000 Discord. If you guys ever, they're some of the nicest people on the planet. If you've ever thought about running this game, then check them out. You can find it on src.com under the Spider-Man 2000s tab. They are amazing. It helped. They help anyone and everyone, and we find new tricks every day. Real quick though, before I get to that, this is Burke's home, one of our community members, and it's Underwater Trench. He spent a lot of time to figure out that we could just glitch through the floor there instead of traveling this entire level and then coming back, traveling it all the way back to get that comic. So shout out to Burke Maverick for that. But yeah, other than the Spider-Man 2000 Discord, anybody you want to shout out, Spider?
I guess shout out to Fetty, obviously, who's running this right now. Go check out his Twitch channel, Wilifetti, on Twitch. Make sure you keep up with all he's doing. He runs Spider-Man, but also runs all sorts of other things and does other casual games as well. So if you're interested and if you liked what you've seen today, Fetty is your guy to go to. Obviously, check out my channel if you like as well, Spyron on Twitch and YouTube as well. We've just recently, Fetty was talking about people wanting to come and learn this game. We've just recently put out a tutorial, an updated tutorial with most of the new tricks, bar maybe 1 or 2 new ones that we've learned then after the tutorial was made. So that's on my YouTube channel. If you want to check that out and you want to learn how to run this game, go give it a go. Shout out to everyone in the Spider-Man 2000 Discord and the community. They've done a fantastic job. This game's kind of really come to life in this last year or so, where the game was almost dead for a long time. There was maybe 1 or 2 people still running it, but there's been a bit of a resurgence recently. So if you want to be part of that, come join us and come have fun with us. Shout outs to the Spider Runs Twitch channel as well. We host regular tournaments and fun activities and marathons ourselves around Spider-Man. Mostly it seems to be Spider-Man 2000. It tends to be just because we're the most active in there. But if you want to check that out, that's Spider Runs on Twitch. We are actually, speaking of tournaments, Fetty himself here is actually hosting a no-skips tournament, which will be starting in the next couple of days, or at least the kind of lead-up will be starting in the next couple of days. So if you're interested in that at all, keep an eye out. You can even apply yourself. It's open to anyone. It's a no-skips one, so no glitches, no out-of-bounds things or anything like that if you are interested
run it
at
as
all.
fast as possible.
Exactly. That's all we want. So if you want to take a crack at that, then again, you can find that information in the Discord and things like that. But yeah, we're kind of on the run up now to the last section of the game. But again, we're going to do a quick once the game kind of ends, we're going to go back and do one of the levels very quickly just to pick up a comic that we missed. But we're kind of in the last section now. So it turns out Dr. Octopus, not really reformed. He's actually the bad guy behind the entire plot to frame Spider-Man and do all this stuff. So we've got to fight him now. The comic on this level is a bit of a tricky one. Normally, what we'd like to do is finish off Dr. Octopus here in one cycle. So we have to hit all these switches that you can see are falling from the ceiling to deplete his shield, and at that point you can go and attack him. If you do 2 kick-punch combos and then an instant web dome after completing the combo, that will finish him off in one cycle. The only problem with that is that then you have to be really quick to pick up the comic before the level ends, because the comic only spawns after you get through his first cycle. So, in an ideal world, we're going to deal as much damage to him as we can here and not actually finish him off in one cycle. So then we can get the comic, which is between C and D, I believe, which is just behind Fetty here.
They get despawned. Yeah.
Okay, so we may need. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna need to restart that. This one is a tricky comic to pick up.
One, yeah.
Yeah, this is a really tricky one to pick up because if you get caught on anything, if Dr. Octopus decides to like wail at you and knock you down, that time that you need to go collect the comic is gone, unfortunately. So you have to give a little restart and try and just do that again. So we're going to see that again. But yeah, in an ideal world, we want to if you really want to do this level fast, you would one cycle Dr. Octopus and have enough time then to quickly run to the comic and pick it up. But again, that's quite tricky because you can see the camera angles kind of locked onto Dr. Octopus in the middle here. There's no way of like manipulating the camera, so movement in this kind of general level is a bit finicky. If you've ever played any kind of classic Resident Evil games, it's not quite as like tank control-y as that, but it's a little bit like that, just to get like an idea, give you an idea of the movement that Fetty's kind of very, very cleanly demonstrating throughout this run. There we go, we got the comic this time. But yeah, if you're a fan of tank controls, but also like swinging through the air, this game could be for you. So
did I almost just one cycle Doc with web balls?
You were close.
Are we gonna talk about that?
Yeah.
But yeah,
the one cycle is an awkward one. Yeah, the one cycle is an awkward one. It involves a very precise combo, and because we're playing on PlayStation as well, and the input lag is the way that it is, in comparison especially to the PC version. I don't know if anyone knows, there's a PC version of this game as well, PC port, an N64 port, which I didn't know about, being from England, because that only came out in America. Didn't realize there was an N64 version as well. There's also a Dreamcast version, which is, I think, the other most common version played. So plenty of ways to play this game. But there we go. Dr. Octopus is down, and we are now moving on to the second kind of boss, which makes it abundantly clear why there's symbiotes everywhere. Carnage is here. And the only way, realistically, to defeat Carnage in the quickest way possible is to throw him into this sonic bubble, because we know that they hate sonic bubbles and sonic noises and things in general. So we collect that comic as we're kind of peppering Carnage here with the web balls to keep him inside this dome for as long as we can.
That was so smooth.
Yeah, it was really, really clean.
It's way harder than it looks, by the way. It's way harder than it looks.
Carnage can be a bit of a nuisance, it's true. He will just whack you, he'll just refuse to listen to you, grab him or attack him, he'll just kind of do his own thing. And so you might think, well, we've defeated the two masterminds behind the entire plot. You'd think the game's over, but unfortunately, or well, fortunately, if you want to see more game, it's not. Oh my goodness, a combination of Dr. Octopus and Carnage, it's Monster Rock, which is crazy, actually, that this is the only appearance of Monster Rock across the entirety of Spider-Man kind of media. Never in any comics, never in any other games. Literally, this is his first and last appearance, which is crazy, really, because this seems like a really cool concept for a character. So I don't know why they've never thought to use this again. But this is the stuff of nightmares. If you play this as a child, you might remember crying, getting scared, just kind of generally just being very frustrated at this level. Not, of course, at all talking from personal experience during that, but the purpose of this level is basically swing to the end and don't get caught by Monster Rock because he's too powerful to fight, too scary. So yeah, towards the end of the game, it kind of just turns into a psychological horror, which is pretty apt, I guess, with the Resident Evil comparison we made earlier. So not too bad. So yeah, normally... Oh, go on, sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, this is kind of, there's only one more comic left in this level. We're not nearing time yet because I do have to go back and collect the other comic. But it is getting close. So if there's any donos or anything like that have came in that you want to read or anything like that, just now would be the time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wanted to give a touch base on some of the bid wars and the targets that we're going for. Right now, all we have open is the cat versus dog for Stardew Valley, and it looks like cat is ahead, $10. That happened a little bit earlier, so if you're a dog person, you have the chance to steal this. We got a little bit of time before the Stardew Valley run. So make sure to get your donations in for that. And our target is still going on, the Glitch Perfection run. Need about $25 more to make that happen. A 24-hour speed run cut down to 3 minutes. that will be exciting to see. I am personally very interested in that. Don't forget that when you do donate using !donate, you'll be able to use not only polls, but also you'll be out of the bid war, but also you'll be able to select a target. So make sure to do that so that you are making you're putting your money to its fullest use. And we appreciate that. We get to see all sorts of new things, and you get to decide: is our farmer going to be a cat or a dog person?
So we'll switch back to the comic. We're going to go to Building Top Chase is the level that we need to go to, because that is where the final comic that we missed earlier in the run was. And as soon as this comic is collected, which is in the next like 10-15 seconds or so, that will be time. So if we can be ready on time, we're just going to approach it. It's just a couple of swings away, just around this corner, just towards the right hand side. We missed this early in the run, but this is actually a little kind of green goblin hideout. He's just hiding out in this crane over here, it looks like, for some reason. So we're going to go in here, the comic will be collected, and time is now.
I wonder who those
GG.
And I do need to show off. That I've collected every comic for this run to be, validated. And let's see, comic collection. There you go. Man, that looks great.
There you go. Congratulations. So we already taken care of some shout outs. Thank you so much for the run. Excellent run. In an effort to catch up to where we're supposed to be, just want